I'd like to welcome you to episode 2 of A Toast with Tommy Tequila with the current Fight Factory open weight champion, the standard bearer from Woodbridge, New Jersey, Mr. Chris Steeler. Chris, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Excellent. So, we were talking a little bit off air, but you are the inaugural open weight champion. Sink or swim battle royal. It started at the War Ashore or in the Shore 2 with a stacked battle royal.
Yeah.
Can you let us know what that match is all about?
I mean, when that match first got announced, when I saw that I was going to be a part of that match, as the people started getting announced, I started seeing so much top talent that I've known for years. I've been in the ring with. I've, gone one on one. I've gone to war with uh, half those people in that match. I've gone to war with. Some of them I've gone to bloody war with. And when I started seeing it, I knew just how hard it was going to be to come out on top. Obviously, a lot of it was luck of the draw. A lot of it was, that number that you got. And, you know, for me, I wasn't in early, I wasn't in late, so I had a lot of work to do once I found out what my number was going to be. And once I hit that ring, it was just, I didn't care if you were a friend, I didn't care if you were, I considered you family. I was doing everything I can to get rid of you. And, obviously everything worked out in my favor. And every single person that was in that ring, they wanted to be the first. They wanted to be the person that could say, I started this legacy. It is mine. You can never take it away from me. And I'm just so proud and I'm so happy that everything that I said in every single promo that led up to that moment, I was able to make come true when I said I was going to be the first. I was going to be the inaugural. I was going to be the man that carried this to the moon.
And you did it, and you did it in excellent fashion as well. You did it in an area where we switched up this right. There were people that were in it, there were people who were out of it. There were some surprise entrances that people didn't see coming, and it was for a completely different title when we first announced this, right? So
Yeah.
it was cool to see it change to the open weight championship, as the first title doesn't represent what this is all about, being the workhorse title, right? Like I said before, it's the Mr. Perfect title, right? It's that IC strap, man. You're holding it down. It's there's integrity to it. There's a passion behind it, and man, there's a chip on your shoulder to hold that workhorse belt, dude. Because independent pro wrestling and pro wrestling in general there's a lot of good talent out there right now, man, and there was a lot of good talent in that ring. So to be the guy to hold that, it says a lot about you. So cheers, man. You deserve to be that first champion.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot.
And so when that bell rang, you hold it up. You're the champ. What's going through your head?
You know, when Dave and Payne walked out and presented this and I got to see it, for the first time, it was breathtaking. Like, I mean, like you said, it's a beautiful championship. It's a beautiful title. It represents so much more than just it's so much more than just a championship, especially to me, because it shows that in the 23 plus years that I've been doing this, no matter how much doubt has creeped into my mind from what outside sources have told me, how many people told me that I should just quit, how many people told me I shouldn't be doing this, how many people told me you're never going to make it, you're never going to be a professional wrestler, you're never going to do anything with this. A lot of times when that got said to me, it 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 made me doubt myself. But when I hit that ring, when I, you know, even though I love him, when I kicked TJ Marconi in the face and I saw him go over that top rope and hit the floor, and the realization of holy, bleep, I just won this thing, and Dave hands me this championship. I knew I could be I knew I could be the beginning of something really, really special. And the fact that Fight Factory Wrestling is still in its infancy and it's already so big that it's only gonna get so much bigger, and I get to be a part of that, and I get to be you know, a staple of this company. It meant a lot to me, and you know, from where I, you know, I'm not going to get into it too much because it's way in the past, but from where me and Dave started, not the best of friends, not even the best of acquaintances, to where we are now, it just shows that, you know, I belong here, and this belongs here too.
And like I said, your performance in the match, and also just there was a real feeling after it. Like, right, like there was a real sense of emotion when that belt I put on you, and when you're like, I'm from right here in Woodbridge, New Jersey, right? Like, I think the first pop Woodbridge, New Jersey ever got.
Maybe, maybe.
But no, dude, that was dope. You know, that it was there was a vibe, there was an energy to it, and you could see it. And again, just the aesthetics of the title just match you, you know, like brick by brick, you were built up. Like you said, 23 years doing this, man, and hard work does prevail. I got to drive Effie from the airport to War, and we were having a similar conversation. He was like, people always ask, like, "Oh, you still doing that wrestling thing?" It's like, "Oh, you mean my life's passion, where I try to win championships and dedicate my entire world to that I love? Yeah, I'm still doing that thing, you know." And it's cool that people don't see the behind the scenes stuff. And I mean, dude, you're in phenomenal shape, right? You go out there, you put on a show, your gear is dope. Like everything that you do fits that championship caliber, man. And it's great to see that it's recognized. When you look back,
It's yeah. I was sorry. I was gonna say it's taken a long time for me to get to this point. I mean, a lot of trial, a lot of error, you know, a lot of, you know, oh, that doesn't work, this doesn't work, you know, that doesn't look good, this doesn't look good. Um, and to get where I'm at now, especially this far into my career, feeling that I'm finally hitting my stride now, um, says that I can keep doing this for, you know, at least a little, at least a little while longer. Um, you know, when I don't see an end anytime soon, but I'm riding the wave that I have going on right now.
that's phenomenal, man. And we're here to see it, dude. So, like, we're talking about the present, but like you said, it's been a long road. Take us back to the start, man. Take us back to 23 years ago and the road leading into you now holding that championship. Where'd you start from? Who'd you train with? What made you say, like, hey, I'm going to be a wrestler?
So yeah, I mean, 23 years ago, I mean, I was, you know, I mean, obviously this is going to show my actual age now, but you know, I was 17 years old, you know, in senior in high school. Um, loved wrestling. Like, you know, I watched it and, you know, did the stupid, you know, backyard, you know, wrestling with my friends in the backyard. Um, but then what's funny is a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I have this kid who goes to another high school. Um, he does this. He likes the wrestling too. Why don't let's go to his house and wrestle." I was like, "Okay." So I get to this kid's house and we walk into his backyard, and he somehow convinced his parents to let him buy and build a 20 by 20 high spots ring in his backyard. And that's where I took
That's a
my
good friend
first,
to have.
yeah, that's where I took my first actual like bump before I even started training at the IWF in North Jersey. I actually, and this was winter time, so it was a sheet of ice over the ring, and I took my first bump in that ring, which sucked, but it kind of it kind of got me used to, you know, bumping in you know, crappy rings. So like it kind of like got me ready. But then when I saved up enough money, I somehow convinced my mom to drive me up to, at the time it was West Patterson, now it's Woodland Park, but it was between that and it was between Monster Factory, and Monster Factory from Woodbridge was almost 2 hour drive, and West Patterson was only 30 minutes, so that was the choice that I made, and went up there and somehow got my mom got convinced to sign the permission slip and allowed me to start training at 17. And it took me a good 5 years, I believe, until like one day something just kind of like clicked in my head during training, um, that put me on the right path to, oh, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I should be doing this. This is why I do this here, and this is the right way to do it and the wrong way to do it. And it took me a while, because when I first started training, it was I just want to do the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like I just want to do what I see on TV. I don't care about anything else. And then just one day it just clicked. I'm like, oh, that's why.
You gotta be all in, right? You can't,
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome, dude. And like, so you've been all over the game. Like, what's your what do you feel is your claim to fame that's getting you here? Like, what other titles have you held? What's like? What do you feel your top matches are? For people that haven't seen the Standard Bearer, tell us what matches to go back and see. Who like give us a brief resume for you.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my best work has been out of Warriors in Staten Island. That's where I feel like I really fell into who I actually am. Um, Mainly because it's where I got the most opportunity to show. Um, when I was at the IWF, and that was where the majority of my shows were, I didn't have the opportunity to really show off and get in the ring you know, with the names as much as I wanted to. But then when I got to Warriors and I got to show off exactly what I could do and who I was and my character and my ability, I got to step in the ring with, and like there you can go find them. I mean, Matt Stryker, Bobby Roode, EC3, um, uh, Austin Aries, uh, Stevie Richards, um, so many like of my best matches have been there. One of the best matches I think I've ever had was against Falaba in a three stages of hell. It was definitely the most bloodiest and violent matches I've ever been a part of.
The name
Um,
just sounds it. Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome to have that experience with him. We beat the living hell out of each other. Um, and yeah, I mean that's where I think I had the majority of my best matches, um, was there, especially because I had the opportunity to work so many top stars that helped me get even better, because I learned something from each and every single one of them. I never stepped into a match with anybody who's been doing this longer than me, who's more successful than me, and has been over the world, without learning something from them on how to just make myself better. And that's what I try to take from every match that I have, no matter who it's with, whether they're brand new or they've been doing this for 50 years. I have to take something from every match and just to make myself better, so I can take it to the next match and be even better and better and better and better. And I use that to help teach the kids that I get the opportunity to help teach now, is just taking little things from everybody who's done it more and better than me, and just reiterate it to them to make them better. And that's how I was able to take my nickname now and actually make it something real. Like, the Standard Bearer isn't just a cool name. I try to actually emanate that and radiate that out to everybody, whether it's in the ring, outside the ring, training, uh, in regular life, everything. I try to take that and make it something that people can be proud of. Not just me, but my family, my friends, everybody, my colleagues, everybody. I want to make that something that is actually something people can look up to. It's not just, oh, call me this because it's cool.
Yeah, it's you have to carry yourself like that with that name. You know what I mean? It takes a lot to call yourself that. And I think you're living that lifestyle for sure. And it's right there on the championship. It's brick by brick, right? It's Chris Payne with his little sketch, drawing that thing
Yeah.
out, dude, and showing us and like, yes, this is perfect. And I think that shows it. And with the open weight title, it's called the Workhorse Championship, right? How do you interpret that now? How do you interpret that from what you've gone through and now holding that title and being the inaugural champion? How do you set the tone with that?
I take it and prove why I won it in the first place. And I mean, I have a huge challenge ahead of me at No Thanksgiving. I mean, Gibki is not one to even slightly look past just to look to see what's next. Like that would be the dumbest
It's
thing
actually
for me to do.
physically impossible to look past him. He's so fucking wide.
Well, I mean, he's small. He's small. It's fine. It's fine. But no, I mean, I've been in the ring with him in multiple, iterations of himself. Different levels of his intensity. I've been in the ring with him as a partner. I've been in the ring with him as an opponent, and I gotta say, he's it. He's. I've known him for a long time. I've known him for a very, very long time, and he's right there. He's somebody that one day soon, I feel I'm gonna turn on the TV and he's gonna be main eventing a PLE or a pay-per-view, because he just has the look, he has the skill, he has everything that I think any company is looking for. But at the same time, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to keep this. But I've been in the ring with monsters. I've been in the ring with people bigger than him. I've been in the ring with people stronger than him. And I've come out on the top more often than not. So I know what I'm getting myself into. But I hope he knows what he's getting himself into at the same time. Because this isn't about friendships. This isn't about, we're cool with each other. There's no animosity. This is just business. He knows it. I know it. But he needs to know that, I'm not just going to look at him and go, okay, look at those, look at his muscles. Cool. Great. He's big. He's strong. But, once you get kicked in the face, it doesn't matter how big you are.
I'm a Mike Tyson guy. Everyone's got a plan to lick a punch in the face. So that's for sure, man. And dude, he is a specimen. And the same sentiment is towards you. I don't know if you listened to him on the Fight Factory podcast, but he spoke very highly of you. He said your paths crossed before, and he's coming at you, but he knows that he's coming in for a fight. He's like, you guys could have your past, have your future together, but when that bell rings, you guys are both going for it. And hats off to you, because I remember the first war when I saw him, and I went into the back and didn't know what to expect. I was just the tequila sponsor, right? And like they were like, yeah, come on back, hang out with us. And I walk in and I see this dude with his shirt off. I'm like, what is that thing? Like, oh my God. So hats off to you, dude. But yeah, it's all different. Like you see it in UFC, you see it in boxing, It's every dog has its day, and it's the No Thanksgiving goes a long way for me. I'm out here to thank everybody. And I said it when we first started promoting this. I used to box. My first trainer said, outcome of the fight has nothing to do with your opponent. It has everything to do with you. So when you look across that ring and that person has the same exact mindset from you, puts on a pretty good show. And that's what I'm expecting from the two of you, man. I know neither one of you are going to be backing down, and it's going to be an affair.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, like we've known each other for a long time. I mean, hell, there's a funny story that me and Gibki, we always tell each other every time we see each other. We always just reminisce about a time where we were at he was just a fan sitting in the crowd, and I think he was maybe 15 years old, something like that. And he always tells me that he said something to me, and I was getting in the ring or whatever, and he was like, oh, boo, you suck, Steeler, or something like that,
So you
just
said this
being a
on the
fan.
podcast. You said stop flirting with the ref to you. You said it on
Something,
yeah.
yeah. And I told him, and I looked at him, I said, shut up, I'll slap the braces off your face or something like that, like something along those lines. And he just said, like, that just stuck with him because it was so funny, and it sticks with me. And then I have, like, I can't find it. Like, I had photos, but I did find a photo of Steve as, you know, tiny Steve before I think he found weights, and he took a picture with one of my nephews, and my nephew sent it to me, and I was like, oh my God, that's Gipke, and I had to send it to Gipke, and he's just like, he goes, oh, I'm like, Gipke, this looks like you ate yourself like 50 times to get to the size you are now, because I think he was like 195 pounds lighter
That's
in that
amazing,
in that
dude.
picture.
But
It's nuts.
it's crazy. I mean, it's cool to see that you guys have a history, and it's leading up from the kids yelling at you from the side, and now you guys are going in for the open weight championship, and leads me up into the independent scene as a whole. You were talking about Warriors, you're talking about where you've been. I think Fight Factory is definitely making waves on the independent scene. What's your take on what sets the promotion apart from the rest of the independents out there?
Um, I mean, the places that I wrestle now, um, there's passion with the promoters, but what I see different with Fight Factory is the true love that Dave really puts into it. Um, he's not looking at it as just, okay, here's something that I do just every now and then. He's looking at it like, no, this is, you know, a huge part of my life right now, and he's putting everything into it, and you could see it in the production value of the places that we like, the places that Fight Factory has already held shows at. The two War on the Shores, even the baseball stadium in Staten Island. Um, it's, and now Starland.
Who's your partner for that one, by the way?
That was Gibki, and we won the very first tag match together,
Yes, sir.
um, which was cool. It was really cool to team with him too at the same time, because again, that was the first time we ever teamed with each other, um, and I felt like our chemistry really clicked, which I also feel is gonna add to this match. I feel like we know each other really well, that it's not just gonna it's not like either one of us is going into this blinded. Like I know what he's gonna bring. He knows what I'm gonna bring. He might not know everything I'm gonna bring, because I might have a few tricks up my sleeve that he might not know about. But
It's
but
like Balboa and Apollo. Remember, you
yeah,
fight great, but I'm a great fighter.
right. But but no, I think that's what sets Fight Factory apart, is the 150% passion that all the guys put into it. Um, and then when you get there, like I'm excited to see the setup for Starland. Like I really am, because I've wrestled there once before, um, and the setup was cool, but I feel like Fight Factory goes above and beyond with their production, and that means a lot, because it makes it not just an independent show. It makes it seem like this is the big time, and you don't get that from
Thousand percent.
a lot of independent companies because they don't take the time or the effort to make themselves look professional. And Fight Factory makes themselves look professional, and that allows people to walk in and be like, whoa, this is not just an independent show. Like, look at that. Like, oh, look at the ring skirts, look at the entranceway, look at the smoke and the lights and the music and the sound and the cleanliness of the ring. Like, it goes a long way just to put a little bit of love into it. And this is coming from somebody who's wrestled in I've wrestled in a barn. I've wrestled in in parks. I've wrestled on the beach, obviously, but like I've wrestled in some really crappy places with really crappy, rings and locker rooms and everything about it was just crappy. But I have yet to see that with with Fight Factory, because again, they don't want to just be an independent promotion. They want to be professional wrestling, which is refreshing. You don't get that often.
And it's really cool. Like, Payne's attention to detail is on another level, man. And it's like, I could appreciate it. I do events for a living as well. Like, I sell booze, but I have what I want my thing to look like, and that's the way it's going to be. And Payne, when he was explaining to me what he wanted the announce booth to look like for War on the Shore, and he's like, it's like this. I was like, dude, I understand it fully. You're going to build it yourself because no one will ever understand the vision in your head. You'll get frustrated explaining it to them. So you're just going to do everything yourself. He went, exactly. I went, yeah, I have ADHD too. I get you, bro. So, but literally, I mean, that guy made all those boards at his house to walk away to the ring, because he was like, oh, we're getting so much sand in the ring in year one. We had to find a way to do it. So he went out, bought that wood to elevate it from the sand so you guys wouldn't have the sand in the ring, because guys were coming back like all rashed up. So
it was awful. It felt like glass on that first one. It was horrible.
So like just little things like that. I mean, and for Dave, for Payne, like this isn't just another thing. This is their future. Like this is what they want to do, and I think they're going about it in the perfect way. And throwback to War One, I invested a good amount of money as a sponsor coming in because, like, one, I'm a mark, whatever, judge me. Two, I was just like, yo, this is dope. I mean, it's Martell's, right? So it became a big account for me. So I got to sell my booze there. Yeah. And I think it was like a week before the show, and we're going through everything. Like, he's giving me the run of show. Like, I'm going up, like, I made a cocktail list for them. And you're like, yeah, man, we're just really pumped. This is our first show. And I was like, what? This is your, you never did a show before? And you're running outside on a beach for your first show? Like, yeah, I really didn't know. And I just assumed by my talks with them and like spending company money with them, like, no, these guys have been doing this for years, which yes, they have been, but not, not on that level, you know? So
right.
It was just so cool. And just seeing the independent scene, like you're saying, like nobody has that. Like it is my guilty pleasure. I take every one of my accounts, every person I become friends with, it's like, I'm going to take you to a house show. I'm going to take you to an independent show. I'm going to tell you why all I talk about is professional wrestling and why I love this so much. And it's even cooler now to bring them the Fight Factory, which is on the next level. And I think that the independence has never been stronger before. Like, and do you think, like, the fans are noticing that there are challenges that fans don't always see, like behind the curtain? Like, how could you explain the strength of the independents and how that could also be a burden on certain independent companies?
Yeah, because it's tough for some places to compete with other places. Because you're gonna have certain companies who just, it's honestly it's like any sport. We'll go with baseball because there's no salary cap in baseball, right? So you're gonna have certain teams that can spend more money because they have more they have a higher budget. You have the Mets, and you have the Yankees, and you have the Dodgers and things like that, where they're always going to have more ability to spend more money to get more of the bigger names. And you have that with a lot of independent companies that don't have the money to get that big name that's going to help pull in the people, and then that which then allows the rest of the roster to show what they can do to then keep those people. I'm lucky to be a part of a couple companies that you know can spend a little bit of money to bring in the big name, and then the rest of the roster does what the rest of the roster can do to then have the crowd go, oh man, we need to come back next month no matter who's on the card. And but then they have to do it again, because then they have to spend the money again for another big name to bring in new people, and then so on and so forth. So it's hard, and a lot of fans don't see that, which is it's not there. They don't need to see it, but they need to be able to enjoy the show that's put on in front of them. And it is a struggle for. And again, I've been part of shows that have had two people in the crowd, and I've been part of shows that have had 3,000 people in the crowd, and the and everything in between. And it's just an up and down, and it's always a struggle to find the right balance of who to bring in and who not to bring in, who to spend the money on, who's going to be worth it, who's going to draw, who's going to this and that. So I don't envy the promoters. I'm but I know the struggle, because I help do what I can in the background of certain places, so I see some of the struggle. But it's tough. It's not an easy thing to run an independent show, to also be able to run it the right way.
1,000%. And even here at Fight Factory, it's you have 4 out of the 5 with full time positions, outside of just Fight Factory. And it's challenging to juggle, man. The distribution of work, that goes into it, and still to come out and put on a hell of a show is phenomenal. And also just to still love each other at the end of the day is really challenging.
Yeah.
But it's so cool. Like what you were saying, the attention to detail, like going on walkthroughs with Dave and Payne, and Dave was like, oh, like this over here, like could be this area that we do this over here. And Payne's like, do me a favor, walk out from this way. And I'm going to get like listening to an entrance song and timing it and making sure like that what gets through, like in an empty space. Right. And all they're seeing is the Fight Factory ring and the banners and this, and they're literally doing entrance music and walking out. Like, it's so cool to see, dude. And it's just like to know that there is hundreds of other companies trying to do the exact same thing. There's a lot. It's challenging, but I do say I dare any company to put on a match like you and Steve Gibki for this openweight championship, because even with the current card that we have, I am confident that you guys steal the show. I really can't wait to see what you guys do. I know you got another 6'6", 360-pound guy a little pissed off at you, saying that you robbed that from him. So I know I know that might be in your background. You got some eyes coming on it, and I feel like whoever with Marconi and Dixon is definitely going to have their eyes on that. So it's not going to end as long as you hold that.
Right. So far, the best part, I think, honestly, with this card, every single match on the card, it's a main event match. Every single match. So from match 1 to the end of the show, I don't think there's one match that's not like, oh, this could be the main event. Oh, nope, this could be the main event. Nope, this could be the main event. It doesn't matter which match it is so far. It's crazy, which just makes it even better, because then it's just like every match is gonna have to step up their game to be the one that does steal the show, which is just gonna make the show even better because every match is going to try to be the best match without being, doing the stupid crazy stuff. Like not every, every match is not going to be like,
A spot fest.
crazy. Yeah, but it's just going to allow every single match to have. I think every match is going to be able to have that one moment that has everybody go, "Oh, wow, that was cool." When like remember when that happened in this match and that happened in that match and this one. Independent cards don't have that. This one does.
I completely agree. And that's why, if you haven't already, get your tickets now. Starland Ballroom, November 15th. No Thanksgiving. Really not that much money to get in the house and see
Nope.
an epic, epic card. And with that being, this is your first title defense. You're the inaugural champion. Do you feel like you got something to prove on this card? Is it business as usual? How are you going about this match with, like you're saying, every match being a potential main event, every match being a potential show stealer? What do you bring into that? What's your feeling bringing that title into the ring?
So it's always harder to, you know, to defend a title than it is to win a title. That's how I always feel. Is there pressure going into this match? Of course. There's a pressure going into every single match, whether it's for a championship or not, because you know you never know what's going to happen. So there's a ton of pressure because yes, I'm the first, I'm the inaugural, and I need to really prove that this championship is exactly what it is. It's the workhorse. It's the it's the title that everybody should be gunning for, and it's my job to prove that, you know, again, I keep saying that like I deserve it. I don't mean that I deserve it because I don't really deserve anything, but it's my job to go out there and prove that I've worked my ass off for 23 years to be a champion that everybody can be proud of. And that's been the biggest thing that has changed in my, wrestling career is I want to be something that people can look up to. I have my kids. I want my kids to be able to look up and be like, that's my dad. Like my dad is a champion. My dad is our champion and is your champion and is the company's like. So I think I'm putting more pressure on myself just talking about it because there's so much riding on this match. Like it is the first title defense. It is against somebody who I respect and I like and I think is honestly because how young he is and how good he is, he truly is the future. He's truly the future of this industry because he's so good. But I have to prove that I have to prove that I'm better, not just to him, but I have to prove it to myself because in my heart and in my mind I know I can beat him because hell I've done it before and I'm gonna and Steve, when you watch this and you listen, I love you, man, but I, this is staying here. Like I don't care what I have to do. I've been again 23 years. I know how to get things done and I'm gonna get things done. And I like I made this shirt. This is something like it says that the difference between good and great, and on the back it says is having the name Chris Steeler, and that's to me I have to prove that this is true, and Gipke unfortunately has to be the one that it gets proven against.
I love that, dude. I absolutely love that. And
I'm getting
yeah,
myself fired up. I'm
I'm
getting myself fired up right now.
you gave me goosebumps, dude. I ain't lying. You'd see him. I got a little fired up from that too, dude. It's Gipke's a big guy. He's big. He's fast. He's strong. But like we said, when the bell rings, it doesn't matter. You got one final message to send to Steve. What is it?
Get ready to eat through a straw. Because like I said, when the bell rings, there ain't no friends. Like for anybody who knows Chris Steeler, anybody who's ever seen what I will do to win, then Gibki has something coming. Gibki needs to understand. Like I said before, I've been through literal hell and wars with people bigger and stronger than Steve Gibki. And doesn't matter how many times I keep saying I love you, man. We've been through a lot together. We've known each other for a long time, but like you said, when the bell rings, there is no friends. And this is way too important for me to worry about his well-being. And I'm gonna just, I'm sorry. Like I said, if I have to break his jaw and knock teeth down his throat to keep this, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Man, you've been very complimentary to Chris. Excuse me, to Steve. You obviously have a lot of respect for him. I agree with you. We could definitely see him on TV. We could definitely see him main eventing. We definitely see him in a lot of different big name organizations. Brother, I feel the same about you though. So I feel like those exact words could be said about you. You have that same pedigree. You have that same vibe to you. You are a extremely likable human. And when you're in that ring, you are going and the eyes stay on you. I can't wait to see the two of you lock horns. I can't wait for November 15th, the Starland Ballroom. Get your tickets. As you could tell, this goes far beyond independent wrestling. This is 23 years coming up through it. This is a guy that's earned his bones, that now has that championship, and he does not want to lose it. This is something that people write movies about. So come on out and support Chris Steeler, our open weight champion, the standard bearer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys at No Thanksgiving, November 15th, Starland Ballroom. Cheers.